The name's Unveil the Strength. And if you've been living under a rock someplace, hey man, you've been listening to the show and you definitely know these guys have an arsenal of talent, man. And one of those talented people is with me right now, Mark Wolfe from Unveil the Strength. It is so awesome to speak to you, man.
Hey, thank you for having me. I'm always grateful. Thank you so much. Well,
thank you. And I'm grateful to you too. And now we kiss each other's ass, so we're all good.
That's okay.
I do want to talk about not only Kill, but I also want to talk about Unstoppable here in a little bit. But one thing I want to do, I want to go back. Okay. You guys started 2017, 2018 in there?
Yeah, that's about right. Absolutely.
Was it? Oh, okay. You're like, yeah, you're in the general area. It's all
well,
good.
I mean, I feel like everything in the past, 2 years has kind of been blurred together. So after a while, you're just kind of like, yeah, we could round up or round down. However you want to do it.
Whatever works. Now, you guys are based out of Austin, Texas, correct?
We are. Yeah.
Okay. Now, how did that work getting Unveil the Strength together? Because you all were not in Austin at the time.
No, we aren't. I'm in Austin, and Richard just moved here from London actually last week. Okay. So now there's two of us in Austin. Matt is in Reno, Tahoe area. And our drummer, Sean, he's in Northern California.
Okay. And how do you guys work? Like, I'm guessing you do stuff online and calls, texts, shit like that, and then like get together in the studio. Is that how it works?
I mean, we're just modern day musicians. I mean, I think not everybody, but I think there's a good portion of musicians that they all write separately and they bounce tracks back and forth.
Okay.
So, someone will come up with an idea and they'll kind of let it make its rounds, and then it'll come back, and then it'll get to a point where like, all right, it's pretty close. And then we'll build up a bunch of songs, and then everyone will get together, and then we'll start, like everyone will fly in for the weekend. I have a studio in my house behind me. I mean, this is where every vocal track you heard was recorded in this room.
Was okay. All right. And then those tracks that you record there, then do they go in for mastering in the studio? Is that the way it works?
Yeah. We worked with a producer named Rob Kukla. He's in Sweden. He's in Gothenburg. He's a great guy. And then it went to mix with Henrik Oud, who's done Architects and In Flames and a bunch of Swedish bands. And, we really love the mixing sound of the Swedish bands. They just sound so big. When you listen to those bands, they're just huge. And so we like that. So that's kind of what we gravitate towards a little bit sound wise.
Do you feel that, like you said that you like the sound and that they bring in that more full encompassing sound. Do you kind of feel that's more of the metal active rock sound that you actually want for the band? Is that the reason that you're going that way?
I don't know. I can't describe it. I think for me personally, I've always been a fan of over the top production. That's me. Okay. I have friends out there that are in bands and they like to go for the bare minimum rock production. And I think when you're a metal band and you begin to tune down and you drop your tuning, you really need a really big and full sound. Imagine if Korn did a White Stripes production. I mean, that's just that's just not going to work. Right. Yeah, so when you begin to tune down and you do some vocal layers, I'm a big fan of that. I really like it. I think the modern day listener, I think they're almost conditioned to like it, to be honest with you.
Okay. All right. That would make sense. The way to people just grabbing certain songs off of albums now, instead of actually getting full albums, the bands put out, because it almost seems like they're going for the sound they like the best. So you have some people that get what you're speaking about, that with that big encompassing sound, and then you get some people that like the stripped down sound a little bit more.
Yeah, so I mean, there's something for everybody, right? I mean, that's the beauty of music. You know, it's kind of funny that you talk about singles versus albums, because I saw a meme the other day, or it wasn't a meme, it was a clip of a newspaper from Black Sabbath in a magazine article, I believe, and they were talking about Black Sabbath will no longer release singles. We will only release albums. And it was this old magazine picture. And it just really made me think about how everything's kind of flipped now.
Yeah.
You know, and if you think about it, in the late 50s, early 60s, I think it was singles then too. And back then groups were grabbing their acoustic guitars and recording live at radio stations and playing their singles. And that was the thing. And then we went to albums for a while, and now everything's going back to singles again. And, you know, when you look at music history, it's really interesting.
Well, when you're speaking about that, it's like, well, think of like in the 40s and 50s, it's like everything was 45s. This is my new 45. This is my new 45. This is my new 45. Okay, well, that's the same thing as this is my new track on iTunes. You know, you just move up now. So, yeah, and that is kind of interesting. Black Sabbath is only going to release albums from now on.
I mean, I love records. Don't get me wrong. Like, I love concept records. I love records that put a lot of thought and effort into the theme. I feel like the thought process behind music is it's a dying art. Like, a lot of bands release singles, but I don't know if a lot of bands look at the big picture for albums and themes and what they want to do. And I really appreciate that effort when I see bands go that extra mile. But just unfortunately, the way the music industry is structured right now is that it's very hard for a new band to release an album in the beginning.
Yes.
There's just people just don't know enough about you. People are very much like, can we just have a sample taste of you and let's just see, you know, it's like when you order a flight of beer. You know, you want to try five different ones, and then after you go through them all, you're like, all right, you know what? Number 3, that's the one. And so I feel like, that's where we're at right now. People want to hear you. They want to see if they like you, and then even if they like one song, I think they kind of want to see if they like more. It's no joke, man.
It's and I've talked to artists over the last few months. It seems like about the last 8 months. Where I've really started to see this come into play, where a lot of them will do like the single thing we're talking about, and then build up like not only their following and stuff, but then put out like an EP, like it's almost a bigger taste, and then go to the album, and then go back to the singles. It's weird.
Yeah, I mean, look, all the stuff with the current state of the industry, I don't think it's really helping. You know what I mean? With the touring and everything being kind of, you know, depending on what state you're in, what you can do.
Yeah,
you know? And
that's true
and
too.
50% of the states right now, it's rough. And then 50 of the other states, it's like a free for all. And, you know, it definitely hinders the ability of bands to get out there and work, you know, because, you know, the thing used to be, hey, you release 2 singles, you get out on the road, you do a tour. Then once you're back from your tour, then you release some more songs and you go out and you tour again. Like there was a methodology to it, to where, you know, to really work your fans and build it up. And now it's just kind of like, well, you know, should I, you know, I mean, there were a lot of bands last year that were afraid to release music. You know, we were one of them. We didn't release music last year. We sat on songs for quite some time because we just felt they weren't going to get the response they deserved.
Yeah. Well, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No. And so for us, it was just one of those things where, I mean, we finished a video 2 years ago and sat on it, and it was rough, man. And we were like, dude, when is it going to happen? When are we going to be able to release this and let it get what it deserves? And we kind of felt like right now, about this time, you know, people are starting to, you know, they want to go to live shows. I mean, man, people are hungry right now for entertainment, big time.
Terribly. And cool thing is you're in a good place for it. I mean, this whole area, I'm in Tulsa too. So
nice.
I'm kind of, it's kind of open like Texas is. And so we can have our live shows and that stuff. But
right.
Dude, if I go into the Midwest or like into maybe the like Northeast a little bit, no. So like,
yeah, just a whole lot of no. I know.
You know, it's really
Did we get what was that?
I have no idea, man. I think
it's the man listening to us.
No, that was wild, man. I actually think I had a brownout. I think I'm on my battery backup power.
Wow.
It's like, yeah, I did. Yeah. I just,
no way.
I was like, okay, yeah, my microwave was off and all that shit.
Wow, man. Wow.
My
you all
battery.
right?
Huh? Oh yeah, yeah.
You
I was
good?
just, I was like, what the hell? Everything went off, and I was like, that was kind of cool to see because that's a cheap little like $300 UPS thing I bought, and
nice.
It's kind of cool to see that. It caught the computer and the board and everything right away, and you're still here.
Nice.
Okay. All right. Now I forgot where the hell we were at.
I think something about Unveil the Strength should come up and play Rocklahoma for everyone in Tulsa. I think that's what you were saying.
No, you're better than Rocklahoma.
Weren't you saying something about that?
You're better than that.
Hey man, we're ready to go. I mean, the whole reason why Rish moved here was basically for that reason. With all the things going on with
that's what we were talking about.
I don't want to get too political, but you know, they keep moving the goalposts on requirements to travel. So
yeah,
Rish and I had a conversation where, you know, hey man, you need to do what you need to do to get here. And then you're just going to stay here as much as we can keep you here. So that's kind of the plan, is to keep him here and then gear up for some touring in the spring. That's the big plan. We're trying to pull off some last second dates in Texas in December. We'll see where they go. I mean, it's really hard because it's really funny because we really want to play a couple of shows in Texas in December, but during December, everyone knows that it's like, it's dead. No one wants to play. No one wants to do anything. I think the last shows of the year are like the end of November, but we don't really care. We're just like, you know what?
It's like, we'll go play to 4 people.
Dude, I don't care though. That's what's so funny is like, you know, I'm going to put on the same show for 4 people that I would put on for 4,000 or 40,000. And that's just my mentality. You know, we just want to get out there and show everyone, hey man, we're ready to do this.
So you never have those days where you hold back. There's
I can't do it that way. I mean,
I've talked to some people where they're like, well, if I'm doing a Sunday or a Tuesday show, I'm not going to blow my voice. I'm going to save it for the Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And I'm just thinking to myself, really? Are you serious? You know, what about those people that paid to see you at that show that night because they have to work on Friday night? You know, that's
well, I'm going to tell you how this goes. It goes like this. If there's 4 people at the show and 2 of them are at the bar, I'm probably going to walk off stage with my microphone and sing in their faces with my wireless microphone, because that's just how I do it, man. I don't know. I mean, growing up, I grew up in a musical family and I really enjoyed the aspect of performing. My mother was a country singer. My brothers one brother played guitar, one played bass. I was actually supposed to be a drummer. And I remember my parents bought me this silver Remo drum kit when I was a kid. And they wanted me to learn how to play this drum kit so bad. And I wanted nothing to fucking do with it. Nothing. I just, I wouldn't touch it.
Go ahead.
So what ended up happening was my 2 brothers who played guitar and bass were in a band. So their drummer just kind of acquired a free drum set from me because I was like, no, but they were cool because they gave me my first gig when I was 9. And it's funny. I think the song was, what was the name of that band? Nobody's Fool was the name of the song.
Oh, Cinderella.
Cinderella, Nobody's Fool was the first song I ever performed when I was 9 at a go-kart track. That is that is a true story. And,
really?
and I guess that's kind of how it started. And so I grew up watching my brothers and like, you know, do 80s hair metal. And I'll tell you something, 80s hair metal, it's like the cheesiest, best thing like ever. Like those guys were like hair and makeup, but all of the shows and all of the live shows were so over the damn top. If you go back and watch the videos from the 80s, yep. I mean, those guys put it on the line every single night, dude. And they partied hard too. And now it's like you meet musicians and are like, well, I just got through doing my 6-minute abs and I had my herbal tea this afternoon. And I got to be in bed by 10 or I'm not going to perform well tomorrow. And it's like, it's, I mean, how much have we fallen?
I'm an old guy. So right. What you're talking about, it's like, those were my high school times, you know? I was going to all this stuff. And also I graduated high school in 88, started my first radio job in 89.
Wow.
And so like, I actually got in on like the tail end of the hair metal stuff as far as like working shows and meet and greets and that stuff where like I would have to accompany the winners to the meet and greets. And what you're talking about is like, would go to some of these meet and greets and sometimes some of the band members wouldn't even be there. And those meet and greets were totally different from what you have right now. Like right now, it's like the people like hang with the band for a while, you know, you talk and this and that. There, it was like every freaking person in the room was trying to have sex with one of the people in the band. You know, if it was a female band, all the guys.
We all know it's a bass player.
But and the funny thing is, you bring up Cinderella, and you said dress of the nines, the hair, the makeup, all this. Okay, Tom Keifer scared the hell out of me, man. I was 19 years old, working my first radio job. It was I did all the syndicated shit. So I did like the Casey Kasem at 6 in the morning. 6 o'clock in the morning, I'm in a bank building, which is a secure building. You know, you can't get in without a key. I'm on the 4th floor of the building. All of a sudden, the elevators open up. And I look over, and I'm like waiting to see somebody that I work with getting off the elevator. No, I see this guy step off the elevator that's like, you know, 6'4", 6'5", 6'9" with his hair. And I was like, it wasn't until Freddie Corey, the drummer, got off that I recognized who it was. I didn't know who the hell Tom Keifer was at first. And then he came over. I still didn't know who he was when he came in the studio. And he's like, hi, I'm Tom. And I was like, hi, you know, I'm talking to Freddie. Last time I'm still like a kid in a candy store.
Right.
And Tom is like, yeah, I'm the singer. And all of a sudden right then and there, I was like, but that's funny, man. A Cinderella song was your first song that you ever performed.
I mean, that guy is so talented, man. I mean, he'll get on the slide guitar, he'll play piano. I mean, I don't know. I've got a weakness for great 80s bands. I mean, it's like this kryptonite I have where if there's a great 80s song, I'm like, yeah, we're going to have to put that shit on 11. Like, it's just the way it is.
I like the stuff now better, actually.
Do you?
Yeah,
no, I love the stuff now, too. I'm just saying that if an 80s song comes on, and I mean almost, I mean, I hate to say it, but even like, dude, new wave, like, I don't know what it is. I love 80s music.
Okay. Yeah.
Just as a whole, that period of time to me was just so fun.
I think part of, and I'm sorry to get away from or it's more like this happens too much, man. When I get somebody on here or meet somebody that I actually like talking to, I get away from the interview. I forget about it because it's like, do you know this?
Well, hey man, you can call me anytime, dude. We can chat whenever. I'm always down. So I like meeting new people too, man. They're hard to find. So
all right.
I'm in.
Okay. Point taken.
That's how easy that is.
But I think part of part of why a lot of people still like the 80s stuff, even going back to some of the late 70s stuff, that if you notice the production on it, the way they do it, it's layered. It's like almost every song has like the same formula. It's like one instrument will start or a beat will start, and then another will be added. Then another will be added, and it all builds. And I think that builds anticipation. And I don't know if that's something in the back of your brain that you're like, oh, this just makes it better, or what. But anyway, that was the Jimmy Jam, Terry Lewis you're talking about, some of the like new wave, like top 40 stuff too. That was their way of always doing their stuff. If you listen back to like a Janet Jackson or Michael Jackson or any of the stuff they worked on, I'm trying to remember some of the bands that they worked with. But if you listen to any of their stuff, it's like, because they always told me we always build. And you listen to a Michael Jackson song, it always starts off with a beat. And then all of a sudden, like maybe some synth comes on and in that same rhythm, and then something else is added. And I don't know. Now let's get back to actually talking about Unveil the Strength.
Sure, man. Sure.
Okay. Your tune Unstoppable. Okay. When I heard that, I was like, okay, are they putting out their strongest song first, or what the hell is the deal here? And then Kill came out.
Yeah.
Good God, man. What is actually going through your heads when you're putting this stuff together? Are you thinking what people are going to be listening, or what you're going to be doing at a show? Or are you just trying to make the best music possible?
I think for myself personally, a lot of my, whenever I write a song, it's usually about, I usually try to get a theme or something I want to talk about, and it's something personal, but then I try to relate something. I want to make it relatable to people. And so with the song Unstoppable, that song was really just kind of about the overcoming of something, whether it's mental or physical. And if you get a chance, go on YouTube and watch the video. And the video will give you an entirely different perspective on that song. And what that video has in it is it has members of this group of individuals called Team Some Assembly Required. These individuals are all amputees, and they go compete in CrossFit games. And a lot of them, I think most of them, are veterans.
Oh, wow.
And when you watch these individuals do this, it's so powerful. It's one of those things where you watch them do this and you go, oh my goodness, I really need to assess myself and my life and kind of reassess my problems and wonder if, hey, is this a big problem or a small problem? And most of the time after watching a video like that, you just go, man, you know what? I'm okay. I'm doing fine. And it's just such powerful imagery to see people have such an adversity and just watch them absolutely fucking crush it. And it's huge for me. And that's kind of what Unstoppable, is about. It's about just feeling like, you're just down on yourself, you're hard on yourself, and you're your own worst enemy. And you just have to get through it, rise from the ashes, born in a world of chaos, born in destruction. That's kind of like the words of the symbolism of saying, hey, you know what? Nothing's perfect. You're never going to have the perfect situation in your life. So if you're waiting for that, you're going to be waiting a long time. So you have to play the cards you're dealt.
Yeah.
And that's the theme for that song. That's what that's about. I try to put a lot of thought into what I write and not just let it be interpretive dance or, have no answer to what my song is about. I usually know exactly what it's about. There's always a story. So, I'm really big on that. And I think that comes from, like I said before, I'm a fan of themed records and songs that have a purpose and a meaning. And I like that. Don't get me wrong. I like Tool. I do. I enjoy Tool. I'm not sure exactly what every song is about with them. Not sure I'm supposed to know. But with my stuff that I like to do and I like to write, with Unveil the Strength, it's definitely like, hey, this is exactly what it's about. I don't have any secrets.
You don't. Yeah.
I want it to be very in your face.
Not going to mask anything.
No, not at all. Not at all. Like, I'm just like, hey, here it is. This is what it's about. If you can relate, awesome. If you can't, I hope you can.
Okay. I understand. Now that's unstoppable. Okay. Now you're talking about everything's got a story. What is the story behind Kill?
So Kill is about an initial moment after a very traumatic event. And basically, usually in that event, you will begin to shut down emotions. And I think this usually happens because it's actually a survival mechanism for your body.
Okay.
Because your body is saying, hey, you know what, I still need to function and I need to compartmentalize. And I think a lot of people do that for a traumatic event, whether it be physical or mental. And a lot of that for me, from that experience, is from combat. That's something you do. You take some horrific, horrible things and you compartmentalize them and you put them away. And it's not necessarily saying it's good or bad. Sometimes it's good because at the moment, you don't want to be too emotional about them. And maybe sometimes it's better to unpack them in the proper setting and later when you can be more objective about them. There's a lot of psychology involved in this. And
okay.
as being a veteran with PTSD and being through a lot of different types of therapies for it, it's something that was very personable to me. And I wanted to express that in a way to people where, kill all the memories that we ever made, because sometimes it's just better sometimes to erase what's going on than to deal with it. And, that's it.
Okay. So then you're saying that almost like a move on kind of thing. Forget about it and move on.
It's not really so much, I guess, a move on, because with a traumatic event, it's something that you do have to eventually unpack. And if you don't unpack it, it can haunt you for a long time. And that's from personal experience. But maybe at that moment, when I'm in combat and in country, I can't just stop what I'm doing and go, oh, let me let this out right now. That's got to be tucked away for later. That's got to be compartmentalized. That's got to be killed.
Okay.
It's got to be absolutely killed. And I can't deal with it right now because there's things I have to do right now that are not fun and not comfortable. And then that's going to have to be dealt with later at the proper time. So it's a way for me to talk about something very real that a lot of people have had to deal with, but in a way relate it to an audience to say, hey, what's a bad memory that you had to put on hold for a minute because it was hard, or, that breakup with that guy or that girl that, ripped you apart. And sometimes it's better to just, you don't want to deal with it now. You can't unpack it yet. And I think it's a very relatable thing, just different scales, I guess.
Okay. Yeah, the psychologist in you was almost coming out.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, man, I really like to put a lot of thought into what I'm doing. And I just hope that the message that I'm trying to get out, that we're trying to get out, is something that can help people get through something. That's my goal. I mean, if I ever had a dream job, man, it would be to make music and have a nonprofit and help other people. It would have nothing to do with me. That's my dream job.
Okay. All right. Well, you'll make enough money. I know you will. You'll get up there and I'll see this big foundation open up. And I'll be like, hey, I remember when.
Yeah, you know what, man? I hope so. Because it's going to be great. Because the happiest I've ever been in my life is helping people. So if others. I can do that, oh man, absolutely. I mean, I think it's just how my brain is wired. It's just always has been.
I wonder, do you think that's why that you like to perform? Because you know you're giving others joy?
I think so, but I mean, it's kind of interesting because it's kind of, it's unselfish and selfish at the same time. It's selfish because it's actually therapy for me. You know, I mean, the adrenaline and everything, it's very therapeutic for me. But then it's unselfish because I'm trying to redirect that energy to others. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So it's kind of like I'm doing this because I want to help myself. But in the process, I really want to help you guys. And if I can connect that, if I can make my emotion connect with the audience and it move them, then I feel like, hey, I'm doing my job. That's what I'm supposed to do.
Okay. That totally makes sense, man. Completely. Yeah. Unveilthestrength.com is the website after the little brown out and trying to get your video up so people can see your sexy mug. This went a lot longer than I planned on. I don't want to take up too much of your time, man. Unveilthestrength.com, the website. Other popular platforms that you like to use that you would rather have your fans use?
Well, I mean, you can find us on any digital outlet. All of our songs are available everywhere on all of the iTunes and the Spotifys and everything else. www.unveilthestrength.com. Yeah, I mean, try our coffee.
The coffee, man. That's that was the very last thing I wanted to talk about. The coffee. Now, I know that it's been said that you were going for flavor, but also how much of a kick does your coffee have?
The Kill coffee it's a medium roast, highly caffeinated, and we wanted to make it for metalheads and gamers. That was the goal. And, you know, with Kill, if you see the video for Kill, the whole concept of the video was a first-person shooter video game. So we wanted to I like to tie all of our things together. If you haven't caught on to that, that's what we love to do. I like to come up with ideas and then just exploit the hell out of them. So we still have 2 more coffees that we're going to release. We still have a Costa Rican blend and a dark roast. And we currently have a morning blend. Let me just grab it. We have the Vengeance morning blend right here.
Okay.
And then we have the Kill coffee right here.
I have a feeling I know a lot of people that are going to buy some of that.
So what's really cool about our coffee is that if you scan this QR code on it, on the bottom, I don't know if you can see that or not.
Yep.
There's a QR code right there. And if you scan that, it will take you to our music and everything about the band. So that was something I came up with to where every time you get a bag of coffee, if you were like, well, how do I get more coffee, or how do I hear the latest news article or the latest release, you click that QR code and it's going to take you right there.
Awesome.
That's it.
Awesome. It's like I said, a lot of people, and all that stuff is up on your website also. So it's like you're not going to have to go to like Walmart or Kroger or any place like that to pick this stuff up.
That's
Mark,
right.
Thank you so much, man. And what do you say we give the Real Rock Nights listeners a taste of Kill? Yeah,
let's do it.
Okay. You're like, am I supposed to talk now? Okay. This, my friends, is Unveil the Strength and Kill. It's right here, right now. Real Rock Nights.